Early morning of Maya. We've come back for the third time. The season's been pretty miff this year. It's been very on and off, patchy. Guys are all complaining. It's been really tough to be in the right place at the right time. The fish only comes on for a day or so and then it's off, and you arrive and it's over, and yeah, it's been pretty difficult. Not the normal season here. Anyway, just as a bit of an insight, I drove the boat down here yesterday afternoon and through the night. Basically only slept 4 hours, and I've been up editing this morning. The guys out there should understand, if we're a bit flat and, in the editing and chatting and that, it's because we're pretty tired. I spend most of the day at the wheel, and then there's all sorts of stuff you've got to be doing, and then trying to find time to edit and have the energy to do it. It's not easy. So no complaints. We're having an amazing time, but trying to squeeze the time in and to do the work, and that is not easy. And it's also not easy just to tell the stories, the way I'd love to do it. But I guess when things slow down and we start to take a bit of a chill, we've been pushing really hard. Maybe then things will be a bit easier. But we've pushed incredibly hard trying to get some decent fishing in. But it's been tough. It's really been tough. Anyway. Maya's definitely become our favorite stop. A place we could stop and chill and just clean up the boat and do odds and ends. Take some time off. It's a lovely beach, just a nice atmosphere and an awesome little town. Everything we need there, apart from diesel. But incidentally, it's the first time that Kerry's been in the water since the shark incident. So it's been a great place to stop, and we've really enjoyed it. The fishing's good as well. I fished with Tian and his dad at Sedona Bay, and I'd promised him a reciprocal trip when we came to Cape Verde, so he'd flown in to join us, and it was great help on the boat. Another early morning out of Maya, on our way back out again. Got some wind coming on Wednesday and Thursday, so we're going to make use of these 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, before we drop Tian off at Praia for his flight home. Maya is an amazing place to work. Really enjoy it. You've got three choices. You've got a little bank on the corner here. There's a little corner on the outside with a big current line here, and then obviously the outside bank. And it's got a great anchorage. I really enjoyed staying here. It's definitely our favorite place. And the normal morning routine, Hey Tian, catching up with all his stuff and making arrangements, and Kerry making our oats and porridge and things. We've been editing since about 5 this morning. Kerry's now sick and tired of fishing now. He's not saying anything. Maya in the background. We've changed our setup a bit. We're running our longs really far back and wide on the outside. And then we've pushed our teasers further back as well to give us time to get to pitch going, and having two pitch rods standing by with 2 baits. But we've been struggling, man. The hookup on our lures is just disgusting, and a lot of the fish come up really lazy, don't want to take the pitch. A lot of the fish are coming up short on the shorts, come up, follow them to the boat, put the pitch bait out, and they just sort of half-heartedly going for the stuff. They're not really going for it, and then fading back and then having a half-hearted go at the lures from behind. So we're getting really poor hookups. They're really not eating properly. Everybody here is battling on lures. The only guy who's probably doing alright is Marco. But our hookup percentages absolutely pathetic. It's got to be about 10 to 15%, and it's just the way the fish are eating. Yeah, it's on. Nice fish! Oh. Keep it going.
Lead is in.
After the swimming pool.
There, I can see it. Good fish. There it is.
Go, John, go. Round the bull. Where's that? Go, slow down, John. Turn down, see? Head your. Okay. Let's take it out of here. Okay, wear the gloves. Okay. We're going to try and get this. Where's that hook extractor? Zo moet snel opvatten, so dat is het probleem. Watch it. Kan je hem uittak? Kan jij? Geef hem iets op. Top. Oké. Pas net uit. Right.
Beautiful fish.
Ja, sommer foto van my vis op. Yes, ek wil hierdie vis regop kry oom.
Ja, hy kan swem, hy's wel raak. Skien net, hy het baie mooi keer.
Ja, hy's fine, hy draai.
Yeah, fast fish is fine. It's turned. A lot of colour still. Yeah, this would unfortunately be our last fish before running into problems with the authorities in Praia. Yeah, sailing to Praia to drop Tian off. Just come across the channel. We've got 30 knots of wind here, and we're right up against the side here. We're actually in the shelter of the point. On the outside we've probably got 35 plus in the wind, in that wind acceleration zone. Tian's had a good intro into Cape Verdes.
Wind,
and more wind. Eh?
Yeah, never stops.
Yeah, you think you can just fish here, but as you can see, it's white. We're just on the jib, just going downwind, and we're doing like 9 knots. Yeah, when we got here, you're like, you think you're going to jig and you're going to do this and you're going to do that, and you get all these marks, and you get out on the outside of the ocean and it's 25 knots. You can't even jig. I mean, it's impossible. You can't hold the boat in one place. It's all very well that there's fish there. You're going to have to wait to the windless days, of which there are very few. You can't just pop around the corner and go and drop a line in. It's a little bit woolly on the outside. We're in the shelter of that point Pontalova at the top there. We're not even in the outside, and it's absolutely white here. It's unbelievable how this wind blows here. It just never ever stops. Coming into the port of Praia to drop off Tian to have his PCR test, and then yeah, we're gonna wait for him, pick him up, and then spend the evening drifting off the island. And the wind is absolutely humping today, so I hope it's not going to be a restless night. So we had repeatedly asked if it was okay for us to fish from the Maritime Police in Mindelo, and had been assured on many occasions that it was all okay. The same at Maya with the chief there, and it came as a bit of a surprise when these guys answered the radio. We called for the first time in 2 months and boarded the vessel as we came into Praia. Unfortunately, as we dropped off crew previously at Praia and was dropping Tian off for the second visit, these guys had got the inkling that we were chartering, and I think this is where the trouble began. Can't anchor at Praia because of all the crime, so we actually about 8 miles up from Praia. Oh yes, how's the marlin just jump on video? Check at this free jumping here. That's a sailey. It's a sailfish. Check at the sailfish free jumping. Look at this.
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
What?
It's freaking free jumping. Check at this.
Free jumping.
Look at this. Look at this.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, and you got the plug stick.
What's this? It's a sailfish. It's a sailey. I mean, he's right against the side of the boat. Absolutely incredible.
Like
Yeah, so we're drifting here because there's not so much crime near the port. The police just beg us to leave. So we've come just up the coast a little bit. It's the sun setting. Yeah, it's a bit of a mission. We've had back and forth with the police trying to get clearances. They've been giving us a hard time about sports fishing and that we're chartering and yeah, we got to spend the night here drifting because we can't anchor. It's too deep here. There's nowhere to anchor here. So
Yeah, beautiful.
hopefully the wind's gonna die down. It's blowing like 38 somewhere around the corner. You'd never say so. Yeah, it always looks like a perfect picture. And then we're gonna drop Tian tomorrow at 11. I gotta go and get the clearance and head our way to Maya and work our way back to Mindelo. Hopefully don't get arrested.
Just me on the boat, and yeah, I just hope everything goes well and smoothly for all of them, for Trevor and Tian. Tian with his flights and everything, and Trevor with the police station. Yo. Anyway.
So after 2 days at Praia, in and out of the police station, we finally get let go after being slapped with a fine or a pending fine, and we were told to return to Mindelo where they'd complete the investigation, blah blah. And we had to pull into San Nicolai for diesel and a COVID test, because as I'd been ashore at Praia, so I had to have a COVID test before returning to Mindelo, which we did. And then we were on our way back to Mindelo. Up at the hospital, just paying for the test. Wind. That's our anchorage in Mindelo, behind this wreck. No space with all the yachts there, so we moored a bit away from everybody. Down in the bay, next to all the ships. And I got to pick Kerry up quickly, she's been shopping. We're actually quite a long way from the mooring. Old girl's looking a bit tired and dirty, needs a good wash. The Mindelo marlin Praia and I just coming back from Department of Sea Fisheries after paying our fine. We're apparently off the hook now. Bit of a process which has been a bit confusing and embarrassing for them and for us. Very difficult situation to explain. They don't have a category for license for people who come as tourists. They basically treated us like we commercials. Meanwhile we're not, and they don't have a license for tourists to come and fish. So they're sort of stuck. They don't have the necessary policies in place and so on. So they don't really know what to do with the situation. And yeah, they had this whole investigation on us and followed us everywhere and put out on AIS and everything. Put this whole thing together thinking they've caught these commercial criminals. Meanwhile, it's turned out we're not. We're a family boat, and so it's difficult for them to go back on their whole setup, because they'd have to explain to so many people that they would just let us go for nothing. So basically we've been slapped with a minimum fine.
You can't fish, because if you can fish you've got to actually apply for a license on top of that now.
Yeah, it's quite funny. She says to me, if you're going to fish, then take precautions. It's like, don't do it so everybody will see you. Oh shit, they're watching us on the AIS anyway. Basically, at the end of the day, if we'd gone through the process of applying for a commercial license, it would have cost us the same money that we've basically paid now. So I suppose you can just look at it as we've now paid for our license. Unfortunately, now we don't have a license, so we can't continue to fish. It's a bit stupid, but anyway, it's how it's worked out.
So on a lighter note, while that was happening, this was happening in Mindelo.
Blue Hunter coming in with a bus of a fish.
Guy on the boat, so we need to take the rope.
Sounds like a grander, the Marlin World Cup. That fish is worth a shitload of money. I hope he closes his mouth. Fish is big. Oh, Brenda!
Join us next week as we go in search of some surf around the islands. Subscribe and we'll see you then. Catch you later. Thanks for watching.